Most people think BET is black owned. And honestly, it makes sense. The name, the culture, the audience, it all points to that. But here's the reality. BET hasn't been owned in over 20 years. It started that way back in 1980. Robert L. Johnson and Sheila Johnson built BET from the ground up. At first, it wasn't even a full network. It started as a small block of programming on cable, but it grew fast because there was a gap. Black audiences were watching TV, but not seeing themselves reflected in it. BET filled that space. And by 1991, it became the first black-controlled company listed on the New York Stock Exchange. That's a big deal, because once a company goes public, it's no longer about the founders. It answers to shareholders. And that changes how decisions get made. That shift fully happened in 2001. BET was sold to Viacom for $3 billion. And that deal did two things at the same time. It made Robert Johnson the first black billionaire in U.S. history, and it transferred ownership of BET into the corporate system. The network didn't go away. The content didn't go away, but control changed. Today, BET is owned by Paramount Global, which means decisions around programming, advertising, distribution, revenue are made at the corporate level, not at the community level. So when people ask, is BET black owned? The real answer is no. It's black focused, but it's not black owned. And that difference matters more than people think, because representation and ownership are not the same thing. Now, let's talk about something people bring up a lot. Tyler Perry. For a while, he had stake in BET Plus and a major deal to produce content for the network. And recently, there's been a movement around that situation. But here's the part that actually matters. Even when creators have partnerships, even when they have equity in part of the platform, that doesn't mean they control the platform itself. There's a difference between having content on the platform and owning the platform. The ownership is where long-term value is, because the platform controls what gets distributed, how often it gets seen, and how the money flows back. BET is one of the clearest examples of that shift. It started as something built for the community, and over time it became something operated inside a larger system. But that doesn't erase what it built, but it does change who benefits from it long term. And if you're creating anything today, that's the part you need to understand. Because if you don't own where the work lives, you don't control what happens to it. It's why I started building my own platform. Not just to create, but to own.